First of all, thanks a lot for having me.
Thanks for agreeing to be here.
So WallStreetBets, I guess I could talk about myself a little bit. I'm an entrepreneur at heart. I studied computer engineering and economics, so I have a bit of a mix of technology along with business. And right out of college, started a handful of companies. Some of them wildly successful, some of them spectacular failures, just like any good entrepreneur. Look, I'm very intellectually curious. Okay. And I'm very interested in the mechanics of how things work, right? And when I started learning about the stock market, specifically ETFs, and I'm talking about like these synthetic, leveraged, exotic variety that do really fancy things that just kind of blew my mind. I was like, why do these things exist? How is it possible? How is it even legal, right?
Right.
Because they allow you to circumvent all sorts of things. If you want to short a stock, you have to have certain margin requirements because of the risks associated, the unlimited loss potential, blah, blah, blah. But you could just purchase a share of an inverse ETP and you offload that risk to somebody else. And oftentimes you can buy leveraged versions of that. So it's, 2x or 3x the amount. And then you can buy stock options on top of that, which, this leverage is pretty crazy. So to me, I was like, wow, this is pretty nuts, right? And so I took this approach of saying, I'd love to start a community that can discuss these things and point out some of the absurdities that exist in the market and start some interesting dialogues. And I'd say that I've never anticipated the growth that this has had, and it's transcended beyond just a website or a forum or a subreddit. Now it's like an idea with varieties on different countries: India street bets and Korea street bets and silver street bets and Satoshi street bets and all sorts of different things. Everyone does street bets now on all platforms, and that's pretty cool. One of the good things that happened out of this entire chapter was that you had a lot of attention on this. So now regulators, had a conversation, congressional hearings, and you had a lot of attention on this matter. Hopefully they'll be able to fix that. But I also believe that it's not just the government's job to fix that. I think that the individual people are also capable of doing that by exerting pressure on the system. And I believe they're doing that in the crypto world, right? The crypto world is something that's already figured that out. It's technologically possible to settle something instantly or quickly, at least.
So you're now working on a decentralized app?
That's correct, yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit more about it? What's it all about? And what's your plan?
But what I'm doing now is working with this group that's creating a decentralized organization, a DAO, a DApp, whatever, where people buy these WSB DApp tokens and they become part of the governance, and they're able to vote on things, and they're able to exert control over this organization. And what this organization does is it puts together investment vehicles, right? So stock people know these as ETFs. We're referring to them as ETPs and exchange traded portfolios. What that is you have the people say, all right, guys, let's do a YOLO ETP. And so we'll put, Tesla, and we'll put Bitcoin in there. We'll wrap it up into a ETP, and we'll throw it out there for anybody to buy, not just people that are part of this thing. And people can then say, oh, cool, I can buy this. And what's neat is these are collateralized ETPs, right? You own them, you own your keys. It's not like pooled funds or anything like that. It's literally an investment in the purest sense. And it combines both equities and crypto. And in fact, once you get into equities, you can really get into pretty much all investment vehicles, because the equities include ETFs, which include things from the crazy VIX thing that I was talking about earlier, to mortgage-backed securities, to metals, to energies, to all sorts of different things. And even cooler than that is we can expand outside of just U.S. equities. Something that I haven't yet seen, some kind of comprehensive tool that allows you to do that. I can't buy Samsung easily because it trades in a different country. Once people start buying into it, it creates this collects this 2% annualized fee, this management fee, which is the same as regular ETFs, and that rolls up into a Treasury wallet, which the very governance can then decide how to spend. So we want to pay dividends to ourselves. We want to invest it in buying more of these coins and burning them? Do we want to buy Super Bowl commercials, etc.? Right. So it's a pretty neat thing, and it's bridging the world of Wall Street with crypto, which for too long I think has still been separated. That the whole idea of the stock market isn't just a short squeeze. Like everyone's really excited about doing that, whatever, and they keep. I think it's going to be a fad that's going to kind of wither down. But the process of price discovery, of providing liquidity to a market, is good in every sense of the word. It's an actual productive activity. And so having underlying securities being purchased or sold along the way is a really important component of this, because it makes everything real. Now you have people that are voicing their opinion and equally empowered. I've also restarted a project that I started last year, and I even announced it last year before coronavirus killed my dreams, which was to create this kind of a league, a competitive day trading league, right? And I envisioned having this kind of a final event where you have 10 or 12 finalists sitting on the live stage, right? Like in an esports style arena where everyone is watching these guys actually trade real monies live over a couple of days in the stock market to see who the best person is. And kind of just taking things to the extreme. Everyone talks about how everything's gamified. Well, let's turn it into a game. Why not, right? Like, it should be real. So that's gonna, it was bad that I had to cancel it last year, but it was good because now the number of people interested in this is much bigger. So it's a lot more fun. There's a lot of conversations around how crypto is bad for the environment and it's not eco-friendly, whatever. Working with some pretty interesting people, and when I'm ready to talk about that publicly, I'll say who those people are. But they're high-profile individuals that also want to really get ahead of the curve and have these green mining operations that are able to support the crypto in a way that's sustainable.
Are you following the debate on green Bitcoin mining and what's going on in China?
Oftentimes when you see these conversations saying, no, you're killing the environment, global warming because of your Bitcoin, and I just stop and I think about it a little bit and I say, so how much, how bad is it for the environment when you print money, right? Like, you have to kill a tree to get the paper, right? It's not paper, but whatever the materials for. You got to get your printing presses up. You got, all that stuff prints, and then you have to get your truck that drives it with gasoline to the bank, and then the bank ATM machine goes to the store, and then the truck has to go back to the store, pick it up, and take it back to the bank. Like, to me, it's like, all right, I don't know the numbers, and I'm sure that somebody's already studied this, but it's kind of silly that the crypto community is one of the very few, or the crypto industry is one of the very few industries that has to kind of like post, their carbon, emission numbers, right? When all the other ones don't. I think it's just I haven't formulated my opinion enough to articulate it properly, but it's obviously a political movement, and it's got a lot of motivations behind it, and one that just doesn't add up. So while I've read some things, most of it's just common sense that there's obviously a PR battle taking place.